Hello, I'm Mai Martinez with CBS Chicago, where Orange events honor a Chicago teen killed by gun violence. Rallies are planned here in Chicago and around the country in support of Hadiya Pendleton. The 15-year-old was shot in a Southside park in 2013, just 1 week after performing at President Obama's second inaugural parade. Friends wore the color orange after her death, and it has since become a part of the movement to end gun violence.
This was all started by her friends, and we just want to keep the tradition. And so every year, this is our plans. You know, we want to continue to rally regarding nonviolence in the community, and we're here.
Pendleton would have turned 21 today. Meantime, the man accused of her murder is scheduled to go on trial later this summer. Chicago Public Schools is taking action after a scathing report which said the school district failed to protect students from sexual abuse. A Chicago Tribune investigation found during a 10-year period, police investigated 523 reports at city schools, including allegations of students being raped or sexually abused at times by staff or faculty members. In an email to parents, CPS outlined parts of its plan to protect students. At the top of the list, background checks on all current employees. The plan also includes comprehensively investigating all reported incidents and retraining all employees on their obligations to report any physical or sexual abuse of children. CPS has also hired a former assistant U.S. attorney and Illinois executive inspector general to conduct a top-to-bottom review of how the school district handles allegations of sexual abuse or misconduct.
I'm meteorologist Robb Ellis looking at our forecast. We've got one quick system that'll slide by the Great Lakes in the Midwest. Otherwise, a couple of showers into the East Coast, but it's relatively quiet. Another complex of storms getting started as we head into between, let's say, Colorado and Texas. Temperature-wise, though, the numbers very seasonable, although some very warm numbers for the desert Southwest. 108 for Phoenix. Chicago, you'll be at 74. Some of that heat still trying to surge, but not quite as warm as it has been over the past several weeks, although still into the 90s as you head into the deep south. So the forecast for Chicago, temperatures warming up a little bit, but the 74 is not too far off from the average for early June. Overnight lows into the 50s. You get a string of 80-degree numbers. Still not bad, though. The humidity not terribly high. Mostly sunny skies for Monday. A mix of some clouds for Tuesday and Wednesday.
Most of us probably don't pay much attention to the bricks we see, but for one Andersonville man, the walls around him have been built into a new house of knowledge. CBS 2's Vince Girasoli introduces us to a photographer whose story can be told one brick at a time.
Because every brick feels a little different.
When Will Qualm takes a look at his world,
there's more than I could ever possibly learn.
He sees more than just another brick in the wall.
The Chicago common bricks were made from the clay found in the Chicago River.
He sees the tale of a city's past.
After 1871, you couldn't build with wood, and so brick and stone and these Chicago commons became the stuff the city was made of.
A story told one brick at a time.
You put your nice brick, your face brick, on the front of the building, and then your structural brick is on the side.
Qualm began this journey with a mission.
Look at the world a little differently and see if I could start noticing more.
He spent the past 2 years taking and posting photos of Chicago's brick walls.
The brick jumped out at me.
Along the way, he's built up a worldwide following.
It's like learning a new language. Suddenly, that's been hidden everywhere around you. Bricks have a different name based on how they're physically positioned: soldier, sailor, shiner, rowlock.
Qualm can now look at the patterns on a wall.
8 rows of stretchers for every 1 row of headers.
And tell you their trade name.
American Bond. Before I started doing this, if you had asked me what color a brick was, I would have said red. But the second I started looking a little deeper, I saw, no, I mean, this brick here has green in it.
Now, in noticing the different patterns and textures of the brick walls around him, Qualm has opened a window to the rest of his world.
I'm constantly seeing new things that I've walked by 1,000 times before.
Vince Girasoli, CBS 2 News.
When Will isn't taking pictures of brick walls, he's using his artistic talents as a stage director. An emotional return to the mound for White Sox pitcher Danny Farquhar. Just weeks after a ruptured brain aneurysm, he threw the first pitch at last night's Sox game. Farquhar spent 17 days in intensive care after collapsing in the dugout during a game in April. Doctors call his survival a miracle. At last night's game, he was flanked by his wife, kids, and the doctors from Rush who saved him, and of course his teammates. No word yet on when Farquhar will be cleared to play again, but doctors say definitely not this season. They're still monitoring his blood pressure and some ongoing memory issues. For the latest headlines day or night, head to CBSChicago.com. I'm Mai Martinez. Have a great day.